You don't have to understand Yahweh's plan to be a significant part of it. This is Barry Phelps with 10-Minute Torah, Day 2 of Shemot. Names. We're talking about the lineage of the Hebrew people. We're still in Shemot, or Exodus, chapter number 1. Let's slide down then to verse 8, where we left off yesterday. It says, Then a new sovereign arose over Mitzrayim who did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, See, the people of the children of Israel are more and stronger than we. Come, let us act wisely toward them, lest they increase. And it shall be when fighting befalls us, that they shall join our enemies and fight against us, and shall go up out of the land. So they set slave masters over them to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh supplices, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they increased and grew, and they were in dread of the children of Israel. The Mitzrites made the children of Israel serve with harshness. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and with all kinds of work in the field. All the work which they made them do was with harshness. Classic question. If Yah knew, and he did, if he knew that when Israel went down to Mitzrayim, that there would be a point in time that they would be enslaved, that many would be actually worked to death, that his people would suffer greatly with harshness, with bitterness, being enslaved, no longer considered first-class citizens or any class of citizen other than the bottom rung. He intentionally allowed this to take place, and the question has to be asked, why? Now, if we go all the way back to Genesis chapter number 15, you will read here that it says, in verse 13, And he said to Avram, Know for certain that your seed are to be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, Mitzrayim, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. But the nations whom they serve, I am going to judge, and afterward let them come out with great possessions. So is Yah going to grant to Israel such a payday that it's going to soften the harshness in their memory of all that they went through? I'm sure that there were those that would wonder, where are you, Yah? Where is he? Why has he allowed this to happen to us? It's not to say, however, that the people of Israel were completely innocent and they were just good, righteous, spiritual, even spirit-filled people that kept Torah to the best of their understanding at that time, being an oral Torah. But rather, we find out a little later on, if you go over to Ezekiel chapter 20, Yah sent Moshe down, which we're about to get into, and told them that they needed to repent for their idolatry. They had become steeped in Mitzrite idolatry. So it's not as though that the people of Israel were a totally innocent people. They were involved in things that brought them into a place of judgment. Matter of fact, the rabbis teach that out of the 50 levels of depravity, that they had sunk to the 49th level when Moshe showed up. In other words, Yah, according to rabbinical understanding and commentary, redeemed them at the very last moment. Ezekiel 20 says that Yah told them to get rid of their idols and repent, and they did not. And that he was going to kill them all while they were still in the land, but because of his covenant promise to Abraham in chapter 15 to bring them out, he relented and brought them out anyway, and he acted for his own namesake. Why is it that the storyline changes? Why is it that we are a part of something that we don't understand? You don't have to understand all that Yah is doing to be involved. He will nonetheless move upon you, draw you into his plan, draw you into his placement for you, without you having a bird's eye view of all that is getting ready to transpire. One of the key elements that is taking place here is that Yah is going to reveal himself as Redeemer and Deliverer. Now remember, if we go back again a little bit further to Bereshit, or Genesis chapter number 3, you will find that Yah says that in verse 15, I put enmity between you and the woman, between the serpent and the woman, and between you, your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head and you shall crush his heel. There is a promise of a deliverer here, one who will come to rectify the sin issue that Adam and Chava got into. He is going to be revealed as such to the people of Israel in Mitzrayim captivity. In the person of Moshe, he is going to be seen and identified and revealed. Now, in chapter 13 of Bereshit, or actually 14, of Bereshit, after Avram had defeated the kings of the valley and rescued his nephew Lot, and had taken, or was offered to plunder, it says that he met Melchizedek, the Melchizedek priest. And in verse 18 and following, Melchizedek, sovereign of Shalem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was the priest of the Most High, El, and he blessed him, Abraham, and said, Blessed be Avram, the Most High, of the Most High, El, possessor of the heavens and the earth. And then it says in verse 22 that Avram said to the sovereign of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand to Yahweh, the Most High, El, the possessor of the heavens and the earth. The word that is used here in Hebrew is an interesting word. It can and does mean to possess or to acquire. The word kana. It also can be used as the creator or the erector, the founder of heaven and earth. So Yah possesses what he has created here. This is how he is known. He was also known to Aram as El Shaddai, the all-sufficient one. Then we find out that he is going to become known as we read the story of the Exodus, he is going to be known to us as Yahweh Elohim of Israel, who brought his people up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And for many generations, he will be known then as the one who brought his people up out of the land of Mitzrayim. If you go over to Jeremiah chapter 23, in verse 6, it says, In his days Yehudah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safety, and this is his name whereby he shall be called Yahweh our righteousness. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when they shall no longer or no more say, As Yahweh lives, who brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim, but as Yahweh lives, who brought up and led the seed of the house of Israel out of the land of the north and from all the lands where I had driven them, and they shall dwell on their own soil. There is an identity change, a primary identity change that is coming even as we relate to Yah. Why? Because we are going to be part of a particular move of him to redeem us out of the lands of the earth, the nations, and to bring us back to where Yahweh Sabaoth is sovereign in that day, in the days of the kingdom. I don't understand how that's going to work. We read about the messengers going. We read about Rosh Hashanah's word that we're going to be called up to the sky to meet Messiah in the air, and then we be brought back to the earth. How it all transpires, how it all is going to happen, I don't know. I don't have to understand it. I just have to know the one who is orchestrating it. I know him, and he is going to reveal a greater degree of himself in that day, as he is doing day by day with us. Look around. You just might find a greater revelation of the Most High even today. I hope to see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.